Hi there, I'm Al Parinello, and I'm sitting here again with this guy, Steve Steiner, the producing artistic director of Surflight Theater. We're going to talk to you today about a show that, quite frankly, pretty much changed the world. Saturday Night Fever premiered on Broadway in 2000. It started actually in England, in London in 1998. But there is a little story that I want to tell you that I was astonished to find out. Now, here's a play, as we said, has totally changed the world. It changed history because of its success. Now, where did it come from? This is a key. It actually came from a British writer who sat in Britain and listened to all of this disco stuff that was going on in America, and he had no idea what he was talking, what they were talking about, and he had no idea why it was happening. So he decided to do an extensive research on the disco thing going on in America. So he came to America, he sat down, and he interviewed as many people as he possibly could, and he wanted to do an article about this. And he actually wrote the article, and the article was called "The Tribal Rights of the New Saturday Night Live." And New York Magazine loved the article so much that they printed it, which was a big thing for him. So it was printed, and suddenly Hollywood found this article and said, wow, you know how Hollywood works. This could be an amazing film. That was the beginning of Saturday Night Fever. Now here's the other part. Saturday Night Fever, which we'll talk about, went on to astonishing fame. But here's the other part of the equation. He revealed that, and he acknowledged that the entire article was fabrication. He made it up. He did nothing. He researched nobody. He made it up. It came out of this obscure person's mind. His name was Nick Cohn, C-O-H-N. He was the writer. He created this from his own imagination, and it became a worldwide, amazing, astonishing event. That's the next show here at Surflight Theater. That leads me to this guy, Steve.
Yes.
Have you ever done this show before?
No.
All right. So obviously the lead in the movie was John Travolta. And it totally changed the world, as I've said now 3 times. Travolta was an obscure actor, and they literally took him out of this television program called...
Yeah, he was on Welcome Back, Kotter.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Put him into this role, and he created this amazing character. Do we have a character as strong as this guy?
Well, we did. I mean, John Travolta, the great thing about John Travolta is he had theater chops, and so he had all the dancing skills, and as well as the acting skills, to really be able to put this across. And we've got a John, too, is John Garagna.
Ah, wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
And Italian, no less.
That makes it even better. So the question I have is, do we have a white suit?
Yes, we do. And, you know, it's funny, because the show has not been done a lot, but it has maybe about 5 recent productions around the country. And we thought, rather than reinventing the wheel, let's just rent some suit that is probably just sitting someplace. And so we did, and we found out that they didn't make them correctly.
Oh.
No, either it was a 2-piece and it didn't have the vest, or it didn't have the, you know, the flares, the bells on the bottoms of the legs. So we had to go back to the drawing board a little on that.
I'm sure it's going to look great.
Yeah.
By the way, the original suit, do you know who owns it?
No.
Gene Siskel.
No kidding.
Gene Siskel,
Yeah.
He purchased the suit. He was enamored with this movie. Enamored. He saw it something like 70 times. People thought he was going out of his mind. He loved it so much.
And John was tiny. He had a 28-inch waist in those days.
Wow, just like me. Amazing.
Are you sure we're talking about inches?
That's why I love doing these things. Now, obviously, Saturday Night Fever is all about the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Staying Alive, songs that people are still singing all over the world. Night Fever, More Than a Woman, How Deep Is Your Love? I mean, give me a break. How can all of these songs, you're a musician, you're a musical director, how do all these songs come together in a movie?
Well, they come together in this one because a lot of them are performed in the club where the dancing takes place. Other ones, like If I Can't Have You, are interpolated more into the plot of the piece, and some are just sung because they're in the disco and they're dancing, and that's when Disco Inferno happens in the club too.
Oh, okay. And let's talk about that for a second. The actual plot, and I'm sure everyone's seen the movie, and now you're going to see the play here at Surflight. But let's talk about the plot for a second. I mean, John Travolta played in the movie a guy who was basically a loser in life, but when weekends came around, when Saturday nights came around, he was the best dancer, and he would have as many girls in his life as he wanted, and the plot is really about two of those girls. Mm-hmm. So let's see, he plays, his name in the movie is Tony Manaro.
That's right.
Oh boy, my Italian friends are going to love this. And he falls for Stephanie Mangano.
That's right.
And I see in the movie, there's something about the Verrazano Bridge that basically is right on the side of Brooklyn that reaches over to Staten Island.
And Bay Ridge on the Brooklyn side, yeah.
And Staten Island was the escape. That's sort of where this loser who worked in a hardware store wanted to just, ultimately bring his talent to outside of Brooklyn. Because Brooklyn, he lived in a neighborhood that was very, tired and old, and nobody was doing anything. And he thought that this dancing thing was just going to push him to this new land. And the bridge was sort of like an iconic symbol of that, which I love. So, all right, let's talk more about the plot. What happens in this? Why are people going to be just absolutely dazzled when they see this?
Well, obviously it's the love triangle that you talk about, but it's also the incredible dancing and even the couples dancing. And couples dancing has really come back, obviously, with shows like Dancing with the Stars and So You Think You Could Dance and others like that. There's a lot of that as well.
One of the things I've been hearing over and over about this season at Surflight is the dancing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we've gone over and above what anyone's ever seen before. You have cast some amazing people. And I recently saw another one of our productions, and I have to tell you, I'm dazzled by what I see on the stage. And that's what you're going to be treated to, folks, when you come and get your tickets for Saturday Night Fever. And I have to tell you that these tickets are selling rapidly.
They are.
I think we're something, I don't know, maybe there's 10-15% of the tickets left, but it's a big theater, so that 10 and 15% means there are tickets, so you need to get to them as soon as you possibly can. The way to do that is you simply go to surflight.org or just call the number 609-492-9477. Any last comments?
Just to get to the box office as quickly as possible, when the guy answers the phone and starts to drone on, ignore and press 1. He'll go right to the box office.
I like that. Thank you, folks. We'll see you next time right here in this little box. See you.